going on, guys? We're hard at it. So,
some of us more than others.
Some more than others. Story of my life. This is exactly how it is. I'm in work clothes, she's in a bathing suit. 57 Chevy time, eh? 56 is in storage. What 56? Neighbors don't even know what that is. I actually ordered a nice car cover for it. So hopefully I'll be here in a few days and then it'll just be covered and it'll look like an actual fancy car. Because right beside it will be the covered Cobra. No one will know. Anyways, so this sucker, now we've blown the rat turds out of it. That actually just happened yesterday. It's still a little moist in here. But I want this thing to run. See if it's got the gears and all that. So where we left it in the farmer's field, something happened to the distributor. It had no oil pressure and there was issues. So today, I think the plan is, well, it for sure is, pull that distributor out and just see if I can see something in there. So I'm thinking that drive shaft or the oil pump, one or the other, or maybe the distributor, I don't know if it's a cast, whatever this gear or whatever it's going to be, broke. So it's got no oil pressure, but still manages to run. I'm hoping that's all it is. So step one, yank the distributor out. Actually, when I was cleaning all the junk out of this thing, that's not it. I forgot where I put it. But I found a new cap, new rotor, bunch of stuff, set of points, so I got to do a tune-up on it for free, right on, eh? But, so we'll pull that out, see what we find. Hopefully it's an easy fix. I'd like to see this thing running again. I'd rather not take the oil pan off. Now that I said that, it's for sure happening. But, get after it. Alright, well, so where we left it in the field there, when Mur was driving it, really Mur broke this thing? Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm the one fixing it. That's not right. But, so it was kind of running okay, and then, I don't know what the heck happened, started clattering away. And we kind of think it's something with the distributor. Now, actually, when we were messing with it, I don't know how I noticed it, but the distributor was dead loose to the point where it could actually come up and down. So I don't know if maybe it was just loose and bouncing around, and Mur was redlining it. And something happened there, but, the plan is, distributor out, and we'll see what broke on this bad boy. Hopefully it's just something little. I keep saying it out loud, so I'm gonna will positive vibes.
Manifested into reality.
Manifested into reality, she says. I'm not overly concerned here. I'll just retime this thing after and stuff. And if you guys don't have, buy a distributor wrench. Harbor Freight, or Princess Auto have them real cheap. This one actually has MM on it. I stole it from my old man. So
He didn't need it.
He doesn't. I don't think this is used on British vehicles or whatever the heck he's into. It makes your life 1,000 times easier, except this time it's not. Just drop that in there for later. Some milky oil. It's less than optimal. Okay, this distributor, unfortunately the oil is rather milky. We checked it, the oil was good, and then we fired it up, and then now it's not. So either head gasket intake issue, or it just had water in it. We just ran it and mixed it all up. But at the bottom of the distributor, see this little pin or whatever it is. This gear fits in, it meshes in with the camshaft, which is what turns it. But then there's a rod that goes from here down to the oil pump in the pan and spins it. So everything all kind of works together. So we're thinking that something down there broke. See if I can fish in there a little bit and reach something out. But I'm pretty sure, if memory serves, the pin only goes from the bottom up, or a shaft, if that's what you want to call it. So if that's broke, it's probably an oil pan off, or it's the oil pan itself is buggered, or, I mean, who knows. Bummer. Alright, we'll see what's in here. Alright, my dudes, so, change of plans. We're up on stands. I was looking at the distributor. This is all, like, corroded and stuff up there. So that not being down, I'm wondering if water got in there somehow. So obviously oil is not so happy. But, I'm going to show you what I'm going to interpret as a win. So under here, this thing still has, it doesn't have side mounts. It has a motor plate. I don't know if you'll be able to see. I guess I should show you. A motor plate, which is pretty slick. So I can get to all the oil pan bolts. The only thing that's going to be in the way is this center link. Now it might have enough I can drop down. I'm kind of doubting it. I should be able to take just 2 bolts off from the frame, kind of let the thing flop down, and I'm thinking that'll be enough. Otherwise I'll have to take that apart as well. But I'm gonna say that's a win. So I get the oil pan off and look at the drive. Let's see what this oil looks like. I'm not optimistic. Here's a little bit of water, but it didn't come out water first. Oh, it actually smells real gasoline-y. I wonder the floats were stuck when we were jamming a bunch of fuel down our throat. So I'll drain that out. I'm gonna see what I can do. I'll probably just take that down and start, because let's be honest, no point trying to waste a bunch of time. And then I'll see if I can drop this pan real quick, and we'll see if there's a bunch of junk in there, or what the deal is, what it looks like underneath. But yeah, I'll bring her back when it's kind of half apart. Alright guys, well, good news, bad news. So I pulled apart the pan, which will show you what I found in there, which is actually some good news. So here is the problem. This is the drive gear that's going to run from the base of the distributor to the oil pump, which then turns. And as you turn this, it pushes oil, right? Pretty simple. Now the problem is, this is, well, it's supposed to look like that. So she broken. That little piece I think must be in the oil pan. So I need an oil pump, which unfortunately it's Sunday afternoon. I don't think anyone's open right now. I might make a few phone calls and get it tomorrow. The oil pan came off super easy. Actually, the gasket and everything stuck together. So I might be able to kind of clean it up. A little bit of silicone, put it back on. Don't judge. It's like LS guys do it. The other thing, I don't know how this will show up. All the rods are all marked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so they've obviously been apart. What one was it here? One of these back ones. I don't know if it'll show up. They're still cross hatching. A couple of scuffs, nothing too bad. Everything looks kind of decent. The other win, I had to take the transmission cover off. It's got a track action torque converter in it. I don't know what that means, but it sounds cool, so it's got to be. It's not stock. And I don't know, this is the whatever vacuum thing. It's kind of giant. I don't know what the hell that's all about. To look at that on this 400, but this thing's cool. Wicked old hot rod. So that at least will solve my oil pressure issue. I can put a new one of those in. The pan, I haven't looked at it in the daylight yet, but oh god, I'm getting old. I mean, there's not a pile of sludge at the bottom. Like, it's clean. I mean, it's oily or whatever you want to call it, milkshakey, but not a bunch of steel and stuff in the bottom. So I'll clean that up. I don't think I have an oil pump. I'll have to look in my stash, but I gotta try and find one. But yeah, that's a win. I'm stoked on that. Sucks it happened, but it's such not bad. And you know what, I was looking at it, the screen's all kind of plugged up with stuff, so it's actually good. It needed to be cleaned anyways, but this will just have a brand new setup for, I don't know, 40 bucks or something like that. Put a high volume one in there again, bang this thing back together. All I did was I dropped that center link, like I said, 1 bolt, and the pan came off. So huge win. So I don't know if I'm going to get much more done today or not. I might do a little cleaning up. I'll see if I can call around. Maybe a parts store happens to have one. It's open a little later, but odds are probably not on my side. All right, well, I called around, couldn't find another oil pump, and I don't have another oil pump, which is lame. So I figured I'd take this one apart, and I found what's wrong, so I'd show you guys. Your car, right? So the way this works, this is just the cover for it. There's 5 bolts, take it off. And what happens, I'm trying to make a hell of a mess here. When this is upside down, obviously, when this drive, it spins, it jams the oil in there, and that's what creates oil pressure. So I found it. There's a little piece of junk that ended up falling in here. There it is. So don't know what this is. Some little threaded piece of something. And it's folded, so I'm assuming what happened. These gears just pop out like nothing. But this got jammed right there in between the gears, and you can see the tolerance is fairly tight. So it went chunk, probably came to a dead stop as everything was spinning and broke that clean off. And that has got to be in here somehow, somewhere. There it is. Oh no, I buggered it. But that is probably supposed to be, well, I know it's supposed to be just like that. And you can see it bent and then broke off. So all the parts are there. Unfortunately, she's fucked. So that's it for me for now. I think what I'll probably do is spend the afternoon cleaning up the pan. I'll brake clean off the underside of the car and all that. I'll probably bring it back one more time, but that's boring work, so no point in time-lapsing that. I got completely sidetracked, story of my life. And I pulled the valve cover, so I want to see what the heck this thing had for cylinder heads, because there's just so many little speed part Easter eggs showing up. Now, you old school guys, you'll be able to tell what the old part number is. 461. So an old set of like whatever, double hump, fuelie heads, whatever you want to call them. So just another old school thing. They're no match for some new aluminum cylinder head, but back in the day, those are the hot setups. So just another thing adding to this thing. It's awesome. So Edelbrock intake, Holley carb, fuelie heads. Obviously, motor's been apart and put back together. Headers, some sort of transmission, you know, a higher stall torque converter, probably some sort of shift kit, you'd have to assume, right? And a 10 bolt rear end. I haven't got it up on the off the ground yet, see if it's a posi or count the turns, see what it is for gears, but at this point, someone spent money. Lucky for me. But that's where I'm ending it today for sure. I'm gonna do a little bit more cleaning up, see where we end up, and I'll be back out tomorrow with a new pump. We'll start putting this thing back together. I'm gonna change the plugs, do an oil change, all those kind of tedious maintenance things. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. In the meantime, tell a friend, they want this car too. All right, well, it's the next day after work. It is smoking hot out. It's like 95 degrees and humid as all hell, so you guys are lucky I'm not just in my underwear, trying to gain viewers, not lose them. Anyways, after work, I went and picked up a oil pump. It's like a whole unit. Oh, so it's got the pump. I got the pickup wherever, and the new rod. So that'll be good. I got a few fuel filters, because what I want to do in this, I don't want to take the tank out. 57s have a drain in them. Hopefully this is still a 57 tank. I'm gonna jack it up, drain whatever's out of there, slosh some fuel, and then be done with it. Got some crap to do an oil change on it, and some plugs for the carburetor. Actually, speaking of that, so yesterday I took some stuff apart. So I took the oil pan and valve covers to work, cleaned them all up, so they're ready to go back on. I got to get underneath the thing, and I will brake clean it. So obviously there's a bunch of water and whatnot in this thing, and I'm hoping what happened anyways, was the distributor wasn't in all the way, and you can see where the cap is, and right in the center, right above the where that hose clamp and stuff is. I can only hold the hood with one hand there, but I'm thinking it rained and a bunch of snow and all that leaked in there, went down the manifold and found its way into the motor through the distributor. I'm hoping anyways, otherwise, I mean, it's got a rotted out head gasket or something like that, which I'd rather not change. I was gonna take the carburetor off yesterday, and I hit the accelerator pumps, and 3 out of 4 squirters started working. So it's just full of junk. I'm hoping running some clean fuel through it will make it work. And once it's up, so I'm gonna jack it up right now, start draining the fuel out, and then I'm gonna look at that electric fuel pump, because if I can maybe put power to it and it works, that'd be an even bigger bonus. If that's the case, I might start working under the dash and get everything kind of rigged up with a starter switch or something like that. I did buy another, just like a cheapy you know, Princess Auto tractor key thing, so I might be able to get it running off that. So that would be a bonus. So that's the goal. Clean the stuff off, put the pan back on, change the oil, and start getting the fuel system going together. But hearing it run will be fun, right? Alright, so under this unit, so some more old school cool. Somebody swapped out some sort of Chevy 10 bolt, which is fine, classic. A set of air shocks. The valves are still in the trunk. Past it up here, you can see electric fuel pump. I mean, typically fuel pumps I think are supposed to be below the tank, which it is not, but whatever. And what looks like at one point were chrome slotted bars. So all sorts of stuff back here. Anyways, so on 57s they have a little drain. So we'll just see, hope there's not too much fuel in here, because I don't have an empty pan. But whatever, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So we'll see what this looks like. Ooh. That is yellow. But not a bunch of crud came out, so I'll call that a win. So I'm gonna let that drain out. Whew, that smells like old gas. Oh my god. Oh god. Oh man. So we'll let that drain. Holy Christ, that's bad. Yeah, so we'll let it drain out and then air the garage out, because this is crazy. And hopefully I can dump some new stuff in there, but that's at least not rusty. Alright, we're letting the gas fumes get out of here. Anyways, so here is the new oil pump. So it's the same but different. This is a kind of a fancy one that the speed shop a guy had bought, and it didn't quite work out. Looks like it had kind of been put together and taken apart, so whatever. So this is the drive unit I was talking about. So this goes into the oil pump drive, that goes in the bottom distributor, and they spin, and that's how you get oil pressure. So you can see that's how that one looks, and this one is bust. So the next thing you gotta do, you gotta put the pickup on. Different style, but same thing. Now this is where it's kind of critical. This is kind of goes on most of the way. Then I jam a wrench on there, pound it in. But you want to make sure this is in the right area, because if it's too low, it'll be against the pan. If it's too high, you won't get all the oil capacity. So I'm going to cheat a little bit. A lot of times people do it, put a piece of grease or I don't know what to make sure it's set to the pan. There's some sort of a measurement. I'm just going to try and match it off this one the best I can, because they're the same height even though it's a different design. And then once you get it in where you want it, I like to put a couple little tack welds on it, even though it's kind of cast, just so it don't fall off, because if that falls off, you have a problem. So I'll get to that real quick. We'll get her kind of sized up and slap this bad boy all back together. Now we're back. So there you go, a couple ugly tack welds, but she's on there at, I don't know, roughly the same thing as that. So now the one thing you don't want to forget is this bad boy. And I like these ones. This was a little more, I think this was a melling one, but typically the rod, it kind of looks like that with the little pin in it, and there's like a little plastic sleeve. I like these metal ones. I don't know why. It just feels a little better. So you gotta do that, and you slide the whole thing up, and there's one bolt that holds it on, and then reverse the process through the oil pan. So I'm gonna get this sucker back together, and yeah, well, I think we'll see. We'll go from there. Probably bring it back on the oil change part, but this is pretty simple stuff. Alright guys, so it's like moment of truth. Oil pan's back on, I got the valve covers on, oil is in it. I tried messing with the fuel pump, it didn't work, so I put that one that we had originally used in, and then I ran a new line, well actually just from back there, and I bought just a few of these cheapy fuel filters. So moment of truth to see if it'll suck up from the tank. So you guys will see while I turn this on. I got it rigged up in the back seat, real classy like. Here we go. Picking up any fuel. Nothing. I wonder if the well, that's a bummer. I wonder if the bowls are just full. Nada. Well, That sucks. Alright, we're running off jerry can because I don't want to screw around with this anymore. So that's a bummer. The sender, that sock is probably full of junk. So, actually I was in here, so I had the distributor out, and you can see inside where the distributor's on the intake manifold, it's all corroded. So I really am hoping the water just came in and went that way. I was going to put the carburetor if I said it or not, but now all of a sudden the accelerator pump's working, and I got 3 out of the 4 jets are working, so it's needs some fuel through it. I found that other cap and rotor, so I'm going to change those. I got to find top dead center. I'll retime it and fire this bad boy up. Record. Alright, well, you guys can see that. If you can smell it, my arms are covered in fuel. I didn't want to give up, so I ended up actually crawling out of there, disconnecting everything, and blowing air through the whole system until it blew up in my face. But actually, the gas isn't too bad. Bonus. So, you can air out and distributor. Okay, well, done a fair bit. Where did I leave it? Oil change was done. I put the distributor in. I put a new rotor in. The cap, one of the whatever little screw turny things was bust, so that was a bummer. I took all the plugs out. They actually all look not bad, I mean, for what they are. Nothing was oily or anything like that. I couldn't get number 8 because of the header and starter, so it looks like I got to pull the starter out, or I don't know. I didn't feel like screwing with that, so I got 7 out of 8. 7/8 is pretty good, right? I got all that dialed in. I got the timing kind of static to probably about 8 degrees, so I don't know, I'll have to get the timing light out once we get it running. But I was hoping now we can see if this thing has oil pressure. So I got it all kind of rigged up, ignition off. I started the one plug out, but we'll just see here. Let's see if I can stretch it. You guys will see better than I can. Okay. Is it too dark there? You gotta trust me. Man. Oh. So it got like whatever 20 pounds on crank. That must mean it's good for running, right? We got fuel. I should be able to put the spark plug in. The timing should be somewhat set. So I will get my timing light out, put you guys on the tripod, just get everything on once over, and hopefully it'll run. I guess we'll see. Alright, we'll be right back. Thing was raised, I got the timing light out. I'm gonna have to block the vacuum on the vacuum advance. But let's just see if this thing will crank to life first. So, fuel pump on. Easy. Jack stands. Your friend. Alright. Let's see what happens. Poor timing. That was almost too easy. Bit of a smoker. Alright, well, crank the idle up a little. degrees. So we'll see what she likes now. Well, there we go. Seems like there's a bit of a vacuum leak somewhere, so could be the carb, could be something like that, or it could be a line or whatever it may be, but it runs on its own. I'm going to clean up in here a little bit. It's the eyes. It's burning my eyes. Clean up a little bit. Well, see if this thing has any brakes. Maybe I'll see if I can drive it up the driveway under its own power. Yeah. God, I wish I could have driven around the field there, but at home's almost as good. Well, down the ground. Hopefully she'll run. You know, I'm a little behind. I put the video up, and then the last video probably already been up by the time you watch this one. We were pressure washing it and showed off the 56. But the comments have been coming in about, you know, keep it a 4-door. It seems like it's getting to be kind of a close mix. Now at that point, I guess now you guys know I want to give this thing away. So I don't know, the kind of red oxide, it grows on me. I think Danny's car looked better as a 2-door. This one does look good as a 4-door, I gotta say. The other thing is, I'm talking to a few people, and I don't know if I can accomplish any of this, but I haven't done it before on the channel, but maybe trying to reach out to a few companies for some sponsorship stuff. And if we are going to give this thing away, maybe get a few parts donated if I can, or maybe I can get it at cost or something. Now, that's something I want to ask you guys. That's something I've done before, and I don't want to kind of be the old, you know, a sellout or whatever you want to call it. I mean, ultimately, I'm not keeping the thing, so how can you be a sellout if you're just going to get it and give it all away? But I want your guys' thoughts on there. Is that something I should pursue? Because that'll take some time, and it might delay the project and all that as well. So, I don't know. I mean, you guys know the way I do things. Quick and dirty and cheap. But, hey, it works. It's hard to argue with it. So, I don't know. I'm going to move a couple cars. Actually, I'm putting this one in storage. So the T's going away for a little bit. I feel like the 57's taken over. And then I'm not going to lie, I am dying to dive into this 56. Like, it's so hard. I want to push this one in the creek. But, yeah. So I'm going to do a little more cleaning up. I'll move a few things around. Hopefully Danny can come out here. I'm hoping this thing has enough brakes, it'll stop itself. And I'd like to drive it out and maybe get a cool couple of pictures of it on the grass or something, because I didn't get to drive it in the field, and that was a real bummer. I wanted to. I want you guys to see it go around. I mean, at the end of the day, I had bad luck, but cars like this are out there, and they want to run. Old cars want to run, and they don't have to be a fortune, and you don't got to be a genius to get them going. I think I spent $100 today on the oil pump and the pickup and all that, a set of spark plugs, a battery, and an electric fuel pump. I mean, really, and it's running. This thing hasn't run in years, so it's out there. Cars are out there. A lot of people keep asking what I paid for this thing. A couple $1,000. So that's what I got into it. You know, maybe you could wheel and deal a little bit. I don't know. And then, you know, I got wheels and tires on it, but they're still out there. I think I paid $1,200 or $1,400 for Danny's car. I forget. So this one was a little bit more, but it was a little bit more complete. It wasn't ripped apart. The floors are worse. The trunk is better. And honestly, the chrome is nicer on this one. It's got all, it's so much nicer. So you guys are getting nicer chrome than Danny. Don't tell her. But yeah. Alright, I'll get this other junk out of the way. Well, as you can see, we're not driving the car outside. So, actually, bled all the brakes. Pedal is hard, but there's no brakes. So every wheel cylinder is seized. So, I looked at that a little bit, but I didn't want to do too much screwing around with it because I have all those other brakes off Danny's car. And the Master and all that. So I thought we could just kind of get lucky. And the T's gone. My buddy Mikey came by and picked that up, but it's about midnight and we want Big Macs.
I want nuggies.
And nuggies. So tomorrow breaks, then it'll finally leave the garage. It shouldn't be this hard.
Well, finally leave the garage.
See you tomorrow. Alright, next day. I just got off work. Danny had a cool day. It's Tuesday. So
that's what it's for.
anyways, I was working in the garage till midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, worked all day, and so I haven't done anything. So we're gonna try and rip the brakes off of this and use Danny's old brakes, which she's so graciously donating.
I really wanted to donate to the cause.
T's gone, so that's awesome. I actually bought a proper car cover for this, and actually, maybe for another video, I think it'd be fun.
Do they know what this is yet?
Yeah, 56, and I bought some trim clad that we're gonna try and just brush paint on.
That sounds fun.
Be like arts and crafts.
Yeah.
So that way, at least they'll be under a car cover, all one color, and full of streaks. All right, well, my goal today, we're ending this fucking video, and this thing is driving out on its own power, or I'm pushing it in the creek, and you guys can have it that way. I'll just
gas. We'll just pour it on, light the thing.
if it doesn't drive out today, I'll put a pin where it is, and you just come get it. I'll sign the title, and there's no keys and whatever. I'm taking the wheels back. It'll be on blocks. All right. Fuck. Okay, so this is the box of parts off Danny's car. So everything was brand new. Like, I had a brand new master, and I mean all the shoes were brand new. The wheel cylinders, like, they're still not even rusty yet, so they're all 100% brand new. And even that's the drums, they're brand new. So I'll probably have the backing plates on this thing. But the nice thing about what was on Danny's car, actually it was on my 55 originally, was so these old school Tri-5s, they had like ball bearing wheel bearings, which are expensive and a bit of a nightmare and all that. The later model, correct me if I'm wrong, but like, you know, early 60s till whatever, full size, they had like the hub, so you use that hub, which has tapered bearings, and you can use that, and then that makes it a lot easier, because the drums are like pressed onto these hubs, so it's a whole big fiasco. So this way the drums come on and off real easy, which makes my life fantastic. So I'll rip all this junk off. You guys probably seen me do this a million times. These shoes actually don't look that bad, but we'll put all new stuff on because we have it. And yeah, we'll put it in fast motion. If you have any questions about this, feel free to ask or go back. I just did the brake video on Danny's car maybe, I don't know, a month ago, so go back, and that's going from drums to discs, but it kind of explains a little bit more. I even have like new hydraulic hose and everything, so I'll do the whole mess, and that way it should have front brakes. You don't need front brakes anyways, right? All right, let's get this going. Alright, so there we go. Brake job's done. I might have to come apart again if I do the front end or whatever, but it's good enough to get the car rolling. Up top, I unthread the master. A bit of a different setup than this one, but it should all work just fine. I always use heat. I don't even try it. I mean, twisting a brake line's a pain in the ass. If you can, put a little bit of heat on it, makes life 1,000 times easier. So 4 bolts out, that in, and there's just the rod, which should all be the same. I can't imagine having to adjust it, but you never know. And then I'll do the same thing I did here on the other side. Bleed the brakes. They better work by now, like, come on. This is ridiculous. What do you think, this thing's been sitting for 20 years or something? She's down. It's got front brakes, no back brakes. Let's see if it'll drive out of the garage. Bit of a process. Let's see what happens. Gotta turn the fuel pump on first. On. Give her a little squirt. Everything's out of the way. Coil. Starter. Damn it. All right. Put her on the block. Okay, I'll take you guys on the next one so you can actually check out your brand new car. Well, there you have it. So, she runs and drives, has forward and reverse at least. Sounded like it went in second, so that was good. I didn't get going lightning speed by any means. But yeah, so that's good. I checked the oil, it didn't milkshake again, so obviously water did come in somehow. And it's fixed itself with an oil change. It's got lots of oil pressure. Motor seems pretty quiet. Sounds like it might have a bit of a camshaft in it. It's kind of hard to tell. I got to do a set of wires on it. I'll have to order a set off old Rock Auto, El Cheapos. It's got such quiet mufflers on it though, it's kind of lame, right? So you guys got to vote. Do you want loud mufflers, quiet mufflers? Those are your two options. Or no mufflers? I'm into that too. But I think that's where we're going to end this video. So I mean, we managed to get it running, fix that oil problem. So I mean, just don't get discouraged, right? You buy an old car, they're gonna have problems. We're all getting older. Nothing works as it used to. So yeah, I think the next thing I might do is actually work on the 56, take a break from this thing. Again, we better be sharing this, telling all your friends, emailing, calling, texting, and all that if you guys want this to be a freebie, which hopefully you do, because I don't really want it. I want you guys to have it, and then we can kind of go from there. So I think that's where we leave it this time. Like, share, subscribe, like I said. This will probably be coming out around Father's Day, so everyone go in the comments, wish Murr a happy Father's Day. He deserves it. He was out there dragging this thing home, and all you old dudes out there with kids, happy Father's Day. Yeah, that's where I'm gonna leave it. I gotta clean up this gong show of a garage and start working on something else. See you guys on the next one. You guys think your car will do a burnout? It will. Fuck, this is gonna be a good car for you guys. Come on. Tell a friend. Alright, I'll see you guys tomorrow.